What's up? Welcome to episode 15 of Jar Sports Takes. This is going to be the first time I have a guest on the show, my boy Tyzhir Morris, special teams coordinator for Abilene Christian University. Give a round of applause for my boy.
Yeah.
All right, so we will be talking Eagles Commanders. He's an Eagles fan. We will be talking Bills Chiefs, and then we will be talking about Cowboys, the coaching search, and how it has been abysmal up until this point, and how bad and mad I have been for the past 2 weeks. But we'll start with the Eagles first. Uh, how's Philly looking? How do you feel right now going in the,
Uh,
NFC conference?
it honestly depends on the hour of the day that I feel. Especially with like injury reports coming up or like being updated and kind of like ghost injuries popping up, like realizing Cam Jurgens is questionable, even though it's starting to look like now he's gonna play. Dallas Goedert's always hurt, so that's not really something that's a huge concern. But being rolling into the game, the thing that's going well for us is the running game. Obviously, is kind of questioning or concerning, kind of seeing those guys up front being a little bit banged up. But at this point, you're what 18 games in, so it's pretty much what the standard is, kind of what's expected. As far as defensively, I'm not all that concerned about them. Like they're gonna make their plays. They're gonna Jaden Daniels gonna move the football, but you just gotta kind of eliminate those explosive plays and also just kind of control the time possession with the run game, which they're not gonna have an answer for. They haven't shown they have an answer for it. And just watching them play Detroit, like that was reassuring to me because neither one of those guys could stop either offense. So I'm not really overly concerned about being able to move the ball on those guys.
So you're not scared of Jane Daniels, coming in, getting a
I
surprise
mean,
win,
yeah,
or
he's gonna put up points, like, but I got trust that they'll kind of limit the damage. Like even with their comeback win last game, like yeah, he got hot, but it's also like a game to where we couldn't again control time of possession because for whatever reason, I mean, I ain't gonna make a bunch of excuses, but offense couldn't move the ball because of whatever, because of what happened, and then also you lose defensive captains in the middle of the game, kind of like guys taking guys losing kind of that mental intensity, but also when you already have a secondary that kind of lacks depth and you're losing those guys that are been your key starters. I mean, kind of stuff happens, especially when teams start to get hot. So I mean, I'm not really concerned about that game. Like I said, he's going to move the ball. He's going to put up points, but I don't think they're not going to put up 45.
yeah.
And if they do, then we got another
I
problem.
mean, if they do,
Um,
they probably win.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean,
If they put up
what
45,
can
then
you
I
do
mean,
about that?
yeah. But
But do you think it's gonna be
honestly,
more of the same? Whereas, you got struggle in the pass game. You take Saquon takes over in the second half. The defense plays well enough to, get the win, and you get a 7 point victory at the end of the day and go to the Super Bowl. Would
I mean,
that be okay?
I think it'll be another close game. I'm not one of those guys that need to see like blowouts. Like I don't care about none of that. Like a win is a win, especially being on the coaching side of things. Like I don't really see it how the fans do. Honestly, I see them going in anticipating Jalen to be hurt, and then obviously the pass game hasn't really been a threat, so they're going to stack the box, um, load the box up, which is going to kind of invite those one-on-one matchups on the outside. They're gonna for whatever reason count Lattimore as being a good matchup against AJ Brown. All it's going to take is really one 50-50 ball to kind of change the dynamic of that game. So honestly, I think that the threat of the run game is going to open up those vertical shots down the field. Um, and then honestly, it's a game to where if we can get to about, I'll feel comfortable if we get about 31 points. Like I said, I don't think it'll be a super high scoring game because we're not the same matchup as the Lions to where they're taking those shots. They're taking vertical shots, they're running trick plays, they're scoring in those 6, 7 play drives. Like we're gonna score in 11 plays, 12 plays, 13 plays. Like there's not gonna be as many possessions in this game as there was last week to where they're gonna be in the mid 30s, high 30s, or even the
Well,
40s.
yeah, because I mean, you guys got one of the best defenses in the league, so it's gonna happen. And I know exactly what's gonna happen. Y'all are gonna sneak out with a win. It's gonna be a disappointing loss for Washington, and y'all are gonna play KC in the Super Bowl. I can
I
see it
do not want
already.
to. I don't even know who I would want to play in the Super Bowl. I just, I mean, I would like to get another crack back in Mahomes. I would honestly, I would feel much better playing the Chiefs and having to play the Bills because I just feel like the Bills are due for one. But there will be no complaints from me if we come out of here. I don't care if we win by 1 point, win by 11 points, because there's a 19 game break between the semifinals or the divisional or the conference championship and the Super Bowl. So at that point, you got 3 weeks. Everyone's going to be pretty much back to health, full health strength. Knock on wood, as long as anything don't happen this weekend, and then your best brand of ball versus the other team's best brand of ball, like at that point, I kind of feel comfortable with whoever they match up against.
Yeah. I can definitely see KC winning this, and I want KC to win. But I mean, whatever team I've been rooting for, the opposite team has won. So if the Bills do make it, I think y'all beat the Bills. But if y'all play KC, I think it will be much closer. But I kind of think y'all do win, sadly.
It just
As
makes me
much as it
feel.
hurts to say, I just I just feel it. The
It
same way
just
I
makes me.
felt it in 18.
It just makes me. It's a feeling of reinsurance, just knowing the level of the level of which the defense is competing. That's why I'm not overly concerned about any of those either teams. Like um, Kansas City, obviously you got Kelsey. I mean, you're not really gonna stop Kelsey. You're not gonna limit Kelsey. He's tripping. He knows he don't be on the bed. But as far as like a true number one threat, like I'm not worried about an HD hop. I'm not worried about I don't even know who the number one receiver in Buffalo is. I haven't even watched Buffalo really,
Shakir,
but
Amari, they got some weapons, just low key weapons.
it's just yes, I'm saying like it's not a point to where I'm like, oh my God, what are we gonna do about this? What are we gonna do about this?
Nah, I think regardless of the Super Bowl matchup, it's going to be a good game. I would love to see Washington go just because I hate y'all that much, but I just I think the Cinderella run ends this week. I
See,
really
like
do.
that's where we're different. Like we better win, but if we say we were to lose, like I'm gonna root for Washington. Like I don't.
That's
I ain't got
crazy.
like the divisional, bro. Like I got so the way I look at it is like I got so many friends, not so many friends. I literally got two friends that are like diehard Washington fans, and just seeing them go through so much misery their whole entire lives. Like the minute that the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 17/18, bro, my whole perspective changed. I've never been that happy in my life. Like I want everyone to experience that happiness. So if at one point all of my friends can get to that, then I'm cool. Like we go ahead, we win it this year. I don't care if we stink for the next five. I said the same thing last time we won the Super Bowl, and I want to say the following season we went like 4-12 or something like that, like an abysmal year. Like I was fine with them. Like whatever, I got my fix. I want the same thing for my friends. So if we don't win this thing, all right, I'm full throttle. All right, let's go. I want Washington to win. I want to see my boys win, and then from that point we got to get it next year.
Not an ounce of my body could say anything like that.
That's
I
where
hope
we're
they
different,
I
bro.
hope they both go down bad. Disastrous. But it makes it worse because Dan Quinn is in Washington now with about 5 or 6 former Cowboys. Y'all got Kellen Moore. Is watching from like a Cowboys perspective is like the worst possible matchup in the world. Unless like the
Yeah,
Giants made it, because I hate the Giants more than Washington, but that's not going to happen anytime soon either.
I
So
did see that. Isn't it like five former assistants for the Cowboys are competing to win the
yeah,
Super
they
Bowl?
got Dan Quinn, they got Joe Witt as their DC, they got Armstrong, they got Fowler, they have Biotish. It's like so many guys went with Quinn, and now they're, competing for maybe a Super Bowl, which is just so insane to think about. While we're deciding on Brian Schottenheimer out of everyone, didn't interview Ben Johnson, didn't interview Aaron Glenn, didn't interview Variable because you guys waited too long. Gruden, another guy I wanted, didn't even haven't heard a single peep out of that. Like what we're doing is like we're not going to win. Just simple as that. Like I'm prepared to not win anything until like 2 generations, until like they really change, until Stevens Jones kids, are in charge. Because like the amount of anger I see on a daily basis when reports are coming out and stuff, it's like, bro, I don't even want anything to do with football. Like it's that bad.
Nah. It's our year. It's our year. It's our year. It's our year.
And I've never said that. I've never been one to say that.
You know, the funniest thing when I first got down here, I thought that every single person would end up being like a Cowboys fan. I've seen obviously not as many being like leaving the Northeast, but I would say for probably every three Cowboy fans I've come across one Eagles fan down here. Like people fly Eagles flags in their front yards. Like people are
That
wearing the hoodies, the jerseys. Like never expected it, and they're not. No one's a real like diehard Dallas fan here. Like they ride hard for the Chiefs because of Mahomes, being that Lubbock's like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, but like
yeah.
none of them are die. I've met very few like diehard Dallas fans. But if you go back home, bro, y'all are ready to crash out over the success of the Dallas Cowboys.
And that's a problem because the whole state of Texas should be loving the Cowboys and putting that much, time and effort into them as I do. But I mean, it is what it is. It sucks being at this point in the season, seeing everyone else succeed except my team. It's very disappointing, especially because if they made a few moves in the offseason, like it was so wide open this year. Like obviously the Lions were great, but they fell. Washington, no one expected it to be this good. Everyone expected it to be Eagles, Niners, and Cowboys, and Niners sucked, and y'all are the only ones that have been performing. So like we definitely could have made a conference championship this year, and the fact that they haven't is just disappointing. So now we'll both give our predictions for this game. First, we'll do the NFC, Washington versus Eagles. Who you got? What's the score?
All right, now don't come for me, NCAA. I don't put in no bets. I follow all of my rules. This is for fun purposes only. All right, with hypothetical, actually no money on the line, not even hypothetically because we don't even do that. All
Hmm.
right, now with that disclaimer being said, I will be predicting. Um, I'll go 33-27 Birds. Jake Elliott's gonna miss another extra point.
I'm going to say 27 Philly, 24 Washington. I think it's going to
Oh,
come
you
down
got
to
a
the very
low
end.
scoring, you got a low scoring
And
game.
I think Daniels throws a pick to end the game, seal it
You think
off.
if there was a pick to
Yeah, I
who?
think you throw two. I don't probably CJ GJ because I really hate him. So probably
I'm
him.
gonna go with Reed Blankenship is gonna seal the deal.
That'll
Exciting
piss me
white,
off too. That'll piss me
exciting
off too.
whites.
All right, so we each got them covering for that too. Is it 6.5 right
Oh, because
now?
it's six, right? Oh, it went up
Six
to
and a
six and a
half.
half.
Yeah, right now it's 6.5 on
Is
FanDuel, which he
what is
does
that?
not
What
have.
FanDuel?
Yeah.
What's it on ESPN bets? Doesn't ES, I think ESPN has a bet. I'm not sure. I think they do have a betting platform now.
Yeah, they do. God, give me a second though. All right. Say you're KC. The line for KC is -1.5 with Buffalo.
Is there any reports on the weather?
There is not, but since it's in KC in January, I'm assuming it's going to be cold, very cold.
Well, it's gonna be 65 here tomorrow, so that's why I'm
And for on ESPN, it's 6 flat for Eagles.
okay. All right, so why I said 33-27. So that's not a cover. Why would they make it flat? That's
Yes, it
weird.
is. Oh, well, yeah. You can avoid it. It's flat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird.
That's why you always do the hook,
Um, I don't know what that means. I don't gamble.
the .5.
Uh,
That's what that means.
and then I'll go. See, they're trying to come out with this phony Pat has an ankle issue thing again.
He's been practicing all
So the
week. He's been
script
fine.
so the script writers are script writing. So that leads me to believe that the Chiefs are going to win, although I would like to see the Bills win. So I'm gonna go uh 37-34 Buffalo.
Third in a shootout.
Shootout, bro. Shootout. Shootout. Overtime.
I'm gonna go 24-23 KC.
You keep doing these low scoring games.
KC's defense is too good. I don't think Josh Allen has a fantastic game. So I think it'll be
I
close.
have
24-23, but Buffalo covers because they're +1.5. So
I don't think I watched a single quarter of Chiefs football this season.
defense plays great. Offense hasn't looked too hot other than, like last week they played pretty damn good. So to wrap it up, since we used to do it on our other podcast, gonna make a little parlay. But like I said, he does not gamble. This is all me, only me.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to do
you
this.
gotta show me or you gotta let me
Yeah,
know what the
disclaimer, this ain't him. This ain't him. We're just, picking people to score and stuff like that. So,
okay.
all right. We'll each pick two legs. All right.
I'm gonna take Saquon's under.
Under rushing,
It's under his OD this week from what I saw on Twitter, and it was like 137.
125 on FanDuel.
Okay, all right, that swings me a little bit because I swear I thought it said 137 or something like that. All right. Ah, what is um what is AJ Brown's line at receiving?
65.5.
Under.
Under 65 and a half. All right, that's one.
What's Smitty's?
Smitty's is 48 and a half.
Over. That's it. Locked. Over. That's a
All
lock.
right. So that's your two legs. My legs will be Jaden Daniels over 223 and a half yards. I'm gonna go Jaden Daniels over 1.5 touchdowns too.
No.
Yeah.
Touchdowns or
Yeah,
passing
touchdowns.
touchdowns?
Passing touchdowns.
He's
Passing
not
touchdowns.
rushing in. I'm about to say he's not rushing in twice.
Nah, that's passing. That's passing. That's the bet plus 770. Not too bad.
Ah!
That's not bad. Make some money off that.
Who's going to be your new coach, bro? Who's your prediction? Who would be your preference?
As of right now, I think it's going to be Brian Schottenheimer. I don't think
That's
that's
y'all's OC.
that was our OC, but he didn't call plays. His dad was a very good head coach about 30 years ago, but he hasn't been the greatest. The only team he's like performed for was a good OC for was Russell Wilson in Seattle from 18 to 20, if I'm remembering correctly. But other than that, I mean, Dak said he likes him, but Dak's going to say that with anybody. He's not going to, downplay any potential hires. Like that's just stupid. So I think it's going to be him. But I mean, I wanted Ben Johnson. I wanted Aaron Glenn. I would have liked Mike Vrabel too, but none of the guys I really wanted can't even come now. So I like John Gruden. I think that would be a change in culture, but I think Jerry's so content on having guys he knows and being comfortable rather than, going outside the norm and, switching stuff up to, maybe make a Super Bowl run. He's going to stay safe. We're going to be a good football team, probably go 11-6, make the playoffs, get bounced first or second round.
Wasn't that your prediction last year, 11-6? Or was it 12
Uh,
and 5? Wasn't that
we've
your
been
prediction
12 and
this
5 for
year?
the past three seasons other than this past season.
What was your prediction going into this year, though?
12 and 5 again. But that got
I was
hurt.
not far off. I was not far off. I said we would go 13-4.
Pretty close. But yeah, I
I
don't
just feel like it's
see.
hard. It's
You can go.
hard for I feel like it's hard for you guys to get one of those OC type head coaches to even want to come play or come coach for the Cowboys for one, because they're not gonna have much of a say in who you get. For two, how many more years are on Dak's contract?
Just signed it, so like four, I want to say.
So you got like an aging quarterback. You're not gonna be able who you're not gonna be able to pick who you're not gonna have a say in who you're gonna draft. And he pretty much knows exactly how he wants to play the game because he's been successful at the past few years versus one of these coaches getting one of these younger guys like a Caleb Williams or Pete Carroll went to Vegas. I mean,
Yeah.
Vegas needs a quarterback, yeah. So like a situation where you can kind of pick who you're gonna be with.
Yeah, but like when you're talking about like a new coach coming in, like this was easily the best roster put together at this point. It's just everything outside of actual football that is the issue and that makes it undesirable. Like dealing with Jerry,
Yeah.
dealing with the media on a constant week to week basis, like that's just not something that any guy wants to go into and try to win a Super Bowl in. Given if you do succeed in it, you do go win a Super Bowl, like they're gonna put a statue up for you. But like it just hasn't happened. And we've had turnover after turnover. I mean, Wade Phillips, Garrett, McCarthy, whoever's coming in next. You've had two franchise guys that, could get it done behind center and we just fumbled every opportunity we had.
And they see
2016,
no loyalty,
2014,
bro.
2022.
No loyalty to a coach.
I mean, you can't
Block
when
that man's
they're
interviews and don't give him a new contract.
that don't get me started on that because that was so like unprofessional. It's ridiculous. Like if you know you're not signing him back, why are you holding him hostage
Block
where he
that
can't take
man's
interviews?
interviews. You don't sign him back. Why would I want to come coach for you?
Exactly. That and it
Actually,
just
Jerry, I'm sorry, Jerry, if you're hiring, you need a special teams guy. I shouldn't even do that. I'll be a special teams analyst for you if you need a special
need
teams
a
guy.
beat writer. I'm on that too.
Yeah, but I say everybody got
I
their
can get in
perks.
the building. I mean, we
Everybody
did
got
we did
their
our special teams guy did leave. But yeah, it's not looking good. But if they had to hire a guy right now, it's gonna be Schottenheimer. I would love Gruden. I don't want Kellen Moore.
No,
I
take him, take
don't
him. You want him. You want Super Bowl champion winning Kellen Moore.
No, I
He'll be a
don't.
great program. He'll be a
Not in
great
the
program
slightest.
leader for you guys. A great
Not in the
organization leader.
slightest.
Yeah.
And if he
And
does win a
he
Super Bowl there, why would he, want to leave when you guys have that kind
oh
of,
no, because he can go do the same with you guys as the head coach instead of the OC. That just has so much more carries so much more weight to it. It'll just be great for you guys.
yeah, no. Yeah, just
You get
just in
my
a
stamp of approval. Kellen Moore, head
and I
coach
told
Dallas
you, I
Cowboys.
told you about in that play call in the playoffs. He agreed with me. They get scary. If you watch Kellen Moore over the years in the playoffs or in any time of crunch time situation football, the play calling gets bad. And bro didn't believe me. He's gonna be fine in Philly. It's gonna work out and everything. It's gonna get scary. God
If
forbid he
he can
messes up this week.
if he can call it like he called the first drive last week, the whole game, I'll be happy. But then I thought about like those are all scripted.
Yeah, bro, you work on them. You know them plays all week. You knew that from Tuesday. What you're gonna run on the first series. It's when you're, on the fly trying to think of plays and what ones he wants to pick and goes bad.
Ah man, go birds. Scratch them cats.
But if you made this far, thanks for watching. Special guest Ty Morris might be on again, especially if they
Subscribe
win
to the
next week.
channel.
Yep, you heard the
Subscribe
man.
to the channel. Hit
Heard the
that
man.
like button.
Appreciate y'all watching.